All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Quiles, Samuel S., Kegley, Sean, Michael M., R Pink and a Beer. Thank you guys, R Pink and a Beer, for modding today. Guys, we are getting a bit of a move up on Bitcoin, and we have some very key important things happening for Bitcoin today. If you guys, and Sudeep, welcome in as well. If you guys do remember, on Friday's live stream, we were down in this area down here below our anchored VWAP, our very, very key anchored VWAP of 107.3K. And the thing I harped about most on that stream was the weekly close, whether the weekly close was going to be below 107.3 or above 107.3. Well, we did close our weekly candle above 107.3 on Sunday. You could see Sunday we came all the way up really to our resistance area and closed the weekly candle above, which is a sign of hope for the Bitcoin bulls. You can see here, if we go onto that weekly time frame, very nice wick down below it, but no closes down below it. And we are holding overall on the weekly time frame our key bullish sentiment trend volume support. Now, if we go on to the daily time frame, the other thing we were talking about, actually, we'll stick on lower time frames for now. What we were really talking about, if we can close the weekly above 107.3, the next big level to reclaim is going to be our 111 to like 111.6K area of resistance. That was the value area low of our 3-month long range that's up here. Value area low of our 3-month long range, which it was a little bit higher. If I pulled this back a little bit, you could see, actually, let's pull back to Friday. You can see that value area low was up in that area. It's shifted down since then just a little bit, but we had a naked weekly point of control up here, and it was the key back test of our pitchfork, and it was a local golden pocket. So the next area of resistance that we said that we really want to see Bitcoin reclaim was that area of resistance. Well, what happened on the weekend high, you can see on Sunday. Actually, was it Sunday? Yeah, it was late Sunday, early Monday. So Monday for most people, but we came up to that area of resistance and we got a nice rejection there. And upon the rejection of the bearish backtest of that value area low, because we were rejecting it, we could expect a drop at least to backtest our anchored VWAP again. Well, we got that drop and we dropped down relatively to the anchored VWAP. You can see on Coinbase, we didn't actually touch it. On some other exchanges, it's a couple $100 different. We did actually, yeah, we didn't touch it on Bybit either. And let's see, did we touch it on Binance? Neither on Binance. Okay, interesting. But we came down pretty much to that anchored VWAP level, and what was acting as resistance throughout the weekend now flipped to support, and we pushed up after kind of retesting that level to see if this was just a correction and we were going to fake out and then crash once we got up to our resistance. We actually did the opposite. We're holding the back test of that anchored VWAP and busting through our key 111K resistance level. And now, actually, as we speak, trying to flip that to support. So, in some ways, this is very bullish for the bulls to not only reclaim 107.3, but now start to reclaim 111 to 111.6 here. It is not looking too bad for the bulls. And in yesterday's video, if you guys did watch yesterday's video, I did lay out a intermediate resistance up here. And this resistance was kind of key because not only is it an 886, so if we tap that 886, which we have not tapped quite yet, but 886 up there, it's the back test of our pitchfork midline. Because if we reclaim and re-enter and find re-acceptance back within our pitchfork, we can expect to move up to the midline. Well, it's that general area that we're at right now, and we're seeing a small rejection from this area. But I would like to say this area here, let me clean up this chart just a bit here. I'm going to hide this box for now, and that way we can get a better look at our pitchfork. And let's also hide this range for just a second and get rid of this 886 for just a second. So one of the things that we talked about in yesterday's video, I talked about in yesterday's video, was this triple anchored VWAP here. Three anchored VWAPs pretty much in perfect confluence with each other. And these anchored VWAPs are from very key swing positions in the market from the previous previous all-time high, from our current all-time high, and from our 107.2K lows, which was our macro backtest of the 2025 value area high. And so all three of these anchored VWAPs are aligning in the same spot, and it's a very strong volume level of resistance. So the thing is, if we do come up here, reject this, and then start to lose our pitchfork again, or start to lose the 111K support again, we might actually come down. There's two things that can happen. Because we did front run the anchored VWAPs on Monday, yesterday, because we did front run the anchored VWAPs, if we do reject here, we could come down just to hit that anchored VWAP to backtest it and then kind of get back in and continue pushing higher. But if we reject from these anchored VWAPs up here and then start to lose not only the pitchfork 111K support level, but lose 107.6, then we could really see a bigger dump here. So this is what we're going to be watching for this week in Bitcoin. And Friday, guys, is a very, very important day in the market. On Friday, we have we have a lot of core CPI month over month. We have year over year CPI, and then we have flash manufacturing PMI services all happening in the morning on Friday, which could cause some volatility on the charts. But hopefully by Friday, it is only Tuesday. Hopefully by Friday, we have now reestablished price action back with inside the pitchfork. We could range around this area for a bit, and then we want to push up. 117.6 is going to be a big level, but this 121 level is going to be another really big level on the charts. If we turn on some of our, let's see, not that, that's this guy here. We have a naked weekly point of control. We have a 786, and we have our pitchfork midline that's going to be coming up in that general area. So, and then of course, 117.6 is going to be a big level as well. But we have the levels to look out for. We are respecting the levels. You can see we have gotten nice scalp trades off of these levels. Once we reclaimed the anchored VWAP, we looked for a long, and we looked to take profit right at that 111K area. And then from the 111K area, we had a couple $1,000 dump all the way back down to that anchored VWAP. I am a little bit hesitant that we did not touch the anchored VWAP on any exchange. So first, very, very locally, let's talk very local right now, because I know you guys are interested in local trades. And if we are going to see a bullish reversal in price, if you missed this long yesterday down from the bottom, yesterday this morning down from the bottom, then what can we look at now? Well, we are rejecting from our anchored VWAPs, but we have the bottom of the pitchfork coming in around 111.2, and then we have our fixed range volume profile of our, let's see, is this the range? Let me zoom out just a little bit. That's not that guy. It is this guy here. Our range value area low, which is coming in right around the VWAP. So 110.7. So between 111.2 to 110.7, which was acting as resistance Sunday and yesterday, now is going to be acting as support. So if we do come down here, and we would have to look for some low time frame bull divs, and we start to bounce here, you could actually look for a long, even if it's a long from this area, to take out the highs from today into your pitchfork band, or into that daily that's just above at 115.2K. Let's see, we have that daily coming in. Yeah, 115 to 70-ish. So we'll keep an eye out for this during the stream. I'm actually very interested in looking, because the thing is, we've already flipped our 107K anchored VWAP to support. Now, if we're going to flip the value area low of the range to support, that does mean we have a high probability of coming up to the POC of the range, which is that 117.6 area, where we have a golden pocket up there as well. A lot of resistance up there. That would definitely be a TP level for me. But we could let this long run, this scalp long that we could take here, could run even potentially up to 121K or higher, or up to new all-time highs. So let's keep an eye on that during the stream. We are seeing some slight bear divs already on the chart. Actually, not slight, pretty big bear divs. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves, and our money flow is still kind of draining out overall on both NAMI and Market Cipher B, and bear divs as well here. So the pullback from this area is to be expected, and this is why I laid this out as a resistance in yesterday's video. Expecting with that triple convergence of volume resistance, we expect some sort of pullback. So for me, I'm looking for just a little bit lower. Let's go on to the 15-minute chart again. Actually, money flow looks pretty good. We did just print a hidden bull div. So to me, this tells me we are going to go likely to go up a little bit higher overall on Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's go to the 6-minute chart real quick here and let's check this out. Yeah, bull div here. Okay. Interesting. I hope we can make one more little drop to actually hit the pitchfork at least. And even coming down to the VWAP would be nice here. If we can flip the VWAP today to support, then it is likely that we do continue to take out today's highs and come a little bit higher on the chart. Let me check the chat real quick, see what you guys are up to. Going to watch the first 5 minutes, then have to run. Yeah, R Pink, thanks, man. Thank you for stopping by. Much love to you, man. Jesus Save 77. God bless you, man. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Okay. The 103.5 low was around the 1.75 level of the pitchfork. On Sunday, it bounced from the 1.5. These are some default levels in the pitchfork settings. Okay. Well, Audi Mill Maclet, those pitchforks work great, man. So the thing is, if you're bouncing from pitchfork levels and the pitchfork is being respected in the past, then it is more likely to be respected in the future as well. So now that we're bouncing from some pitchfork support levels, watch for those pitchfork resistance levels on that same pitchfork. And that could be areas where you take profit. Dr. X, welcome in, man. Good evening to you as well. Crypto Clown World, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Bear divs, it is not confirmed. Welcome in. Bear divs are confirmed on some time frames. If we do go on to the 30-minute time frame, not on the 30-minute, but we do have hour-long bear divs. So if we go to the hour time frame, you can see here this momentum wave has kind of rolled over, and we do have higher highs here. We do have lower highs and lower highs on NAMI as well. So 1 hour bear divs. Let's check out the 2-hour chart here. 2 hours not quite confirmed yet. On NAMI, they are confirmed. And also, we do have a bear div on money flow on NAMI. I would like to see a little bit more. I think with the low time frames, that 15-minute time frame showing, let me get to the 15-minute. With the 15-minute time frame showing such bullish money flow on Market Cipher B with the green dot and a hidden bull div printing just now on NAMI, I do think that we are going to continue to rise a little bit higher today. The only question is can we drop first a itty bit more to either touch the pitchfork or to touch the value area low in the VWAP? So if you're confident right now in this back test, you can long this. For me, I'm not seeing enough yet. Let's go into the 5-minute chart. Do we see bull divs? No bull divs quite yet. Actually, on NAMI, there is some bull divs here. And let's go onto our 1-minute chart even and see how this looks. Yeah, and we've even got 1-minute bear divs confirmed in here. So I personally am being a little bit patient and waiting for a little bit lower. On the Coinbase chart, it's about 111, 230. And if we get down to 111, 230, I might look for long. I might look for a scalp long opportunity. And then of course, even down to 110, 750-ish, where the value area high of the or value area low of the range is. Do we need a red dot confirmed to confirm a bear div? No, not necessarily. You don't need a red dot. The momentum waves and money flow is what you're looking at for confirmed bearish divergences. The red dot's going to give you kind of an ebb and flow, but you have many time frames where you have bear divs confirmed without red dots or green dots. Actually, look at this bear div here. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. You got the bear div played out, and that bear div gave you a multi-$1,000 drop. So not necessarily needed the dot in order for those to confirm. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button today. If you get any sort of insight into the market out of this live stream, please hit the like button for me. Please share the video or the live stream with anyone that you think would be interested. And also really quickly here, while I have you guys paused here, I just want to shout out real quickly the partners of the channel. The main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link, you will get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, but you can actually earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you deposit some of the larger amounts in here. Now, they're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in those futures markets. And they have some really great initial deposit bonuses, especially this $100 deposit bonus. If you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus. And then they're doing various 10 to 20% deposit bonuses depending on how much you deposit. I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community. And in this Telegram community, I provide some trade setups, some market analysis. You guys can talk to me in the chat, ask some questions, ask questions on altcoins if you want. If you're interested in joining that Telegram community, it is free. The only condition is you do need to sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link, and you need to deposit at least $100. That $100 is your money to trade with. You will get the discounts on the trading fees. You will get the bonus. So it is a win-win for everyone. And once you sign up and deposit the money with BYDFI, click the Telegram link in the description of this video, and then type in /verify and then your user ID, which will be right up here, and that'll get you access to that Telegram community. So if you're interested, that's BYDFI and the Telegram. The second partner of the channel is this NAMI Trading. NAMI Trading is a momentum and money wave indicator here. I use it for entry and exit confirmations on my trades. You see, I talk about it in every single live stream and every single video. I'm looking at Market Cipher B and NAMI for confirmations on trades. And for me, I kind of would be blind without the divergences. They really do help with trading, at least from my style of trading. So if you're interested in purchasing NAMI, right now if you use my affiliate link, they are doing a 50% off special. Divine 50 is that discount code. And the link and the discount code are in the description if you're interested in getting NAMI. And the last two partners of the channel are MEXC and Bybit. Both really great exchanges, both giving discounts on trading fees and futures bonuses if you do sign up using my affiliate link. I really recommend both those exchanges. I am trading on MEXC as well as BYDFI. Bybit, I'm area restricted, so I can't, but Bybit is a great exchange. Okay, so let's get back to the TA here. Real quickly, let's check the chat, and then I will go into the total market cap, and then we'll go into some of the altcoins. If you guys have any requests for altcoins, post them in the chat. Fixed range volume profile I shared with you. We flip POC. Yeah, okay, Abir, let's look at that real quick. So last Friday, Abir showed me a volume profile, and I'm just going to zoom out onto the 4-hour time frame. So this volume profile I was looking at was this upper range that we were forming in here over the last couple of months. But in some ways, you could say that this range as well could be part of this upper range now that we've kind of started filling it back in down here over the last week or so. So if you combine the ranges, let's go ahead and turn off this one and we'll turn on that one. You can see that we not only did kind of bounce from the value area low of the range down over the weekend here, but and according to Coinbase, Abir, we have not flipped the POC yet. You might be on Bybit or a different exchange, but the POC is still 117.6 on Coinbase for that volume profile. So, and I think if you had it pulled just to right here, yeah, either way, that POC is at 117.6 on Coinbase, which is the volume levels that I do respect. So, but we are back inside the volume profile. Now, we have not back tested that volume profile since being back inside of it, so we do have to be aware of that. And if it looks like we might be able to continue up to that POC at 117.5, 117.6 area. Okay. Yep, nice, thanks. Okay, still in the game, but what the fuck was that dip? Yeah, you know, this is actually not much of a dip here. I mean, that you saw a lot of long stepping in here, specifically yesterday in this area, and so it's just a little move to flush out some of the late longers. It's just the way the market works, ebbs and flows throughout the day to flush out aggressive traders. Market Cipher A is flashing a blood diamond or blue triangle symbol, a dump also. Yeah, we could start to dump here. You know, we are rejecting from very, very key volume resistance. Very key volume resistance. And Now that we have flipped, well, first of all, this would be the continuation of the bearish trend. If we reject from this anchor VWAP, it would show continuation from the bearish trend. This one, we've kind of chopped through it a little bit, so it's not as important, but it is still our previous all-time high. So if we want to maintain strength above our previous all-time high, then we need to flip this back to support to continue pushing up. And then, of course, your 107.2K lows, if we're really trying to change this market structure, instead of a macro bearish or a macro flat in here, we're really trying to flip that as well. So three key anchor VWAPs in that area of resistance. I would say the most important one is the anchored VWAP from the all-time high. You break above that anchored VWAP from the all-time high, and you could be seeing a sentiment change to more upside. Okay, where would you look for a short for 150,000 or more drop? For a $15,000 or more drop. Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. You can't predict how big the drop is going to be, but you can predict bigger areas of resistance. You know, we have internal areas of resistance, and then we have more macro areas of resistance where you could find swing short positions. So if we're looking at our volume profile and our market structure, right? Market structure is king. And we did now, with the crash that we had last week, we broke the lows of our range, whether this range up here, we haven't broke the lows if you combine the ranges, but we've changed market structure bearishly on the daily time frame. Let me just say that. We've changed market structure bearishly by having a lower low, breaking the last daily low, a lower high, and then another lower low. So market structure on the daily time frame is bearish. So this could be another lower high before creating another lower low. This area of volume resistance could be the area actually where we do see a bigger rejection and continuation back down to 96.5K, where the macro point of control is of our 2025 volume profile is. But if we can break above it, then we would be locally at least breaking market structure daily by breaking these last week's highs. And the next area of resistance would be 117K, right? 117.6 to 118.2. Golden pocket POC of the range, whatever range you use. If you use a Beers range or the other range, both of these volume profiles, POCs in the same area. And if we look at your golden pocket pulled from the highs to the lows, golden pocket is right there as well. We also, POC golden pocket. So that area could be a nice swing short area, or I wouldn't say a $15,000 drop. If we reject from this POC, you might be able to see a flush back down to the value area low to backtest the value area low. If it holds, that means you're confirming reacceptance to trade back within this volume profile, and you could be looking for a long up to 119 to 121K. So this could be a nice, $12,000 long position if we do this beforehand. We're going to have to look at that as more data develops. But as far as a bigger swing short position, I mean, the golden pocket, anytime you have bearish market structure like this, and then you come up to a macro golden pocket and you reject that macro golden pocket, sometimes you will continue the bearish market structure. So at 117.6, and then I really do like that 121K area of resistance as well. 121K up here, it is very nice because we do have a 786, we have a naked weekly POC, and I also believe we have a daily level up there. Not a daily, was it a weekly? Yeah, that general area up there, pitchfork midline, pitchfork midline's up there. So if we do reject 121K, we could drop all the way back down to the bottom of the pitchfork to about 112K. That's a $10,000 drop. But we'll just have to see as more data develops. I can't give you a specific, okay, this is when we're going to see a $15,000 drop. It's not based off of that. It's based off the levels and the way the market reacts. But we know the areas to look for shorts. That's why yesterday we knew that 111K was an area to look for a short. Actually, I had that marked out. We knew that this box was an area to look for a short. You got a nice, at least scalp short play out. We knew today that this area was an area to generally look for a short, and we're getting at least a scalp short to play out here. Oh, POC on Binance. Okay, Abir. Yeah, so I guess Binance, the POC is a little bit different. AVNT, if you would get it. Yes, Crypto Clown World, we'll check AVNT out in just a second here. I want to go through the total market cap real quick. And then Chicken Salt, welcome in. Mickey, welcome in. Thank you guys so much for joining. Yeah, it's not a flush, it's a retracement. Well, we'll see, man. This rejection, 3 key anchored VWAPs, this rejection, if we start to lose 111K or like really 110.7 to 111, we could flush easily back down to actually touch the anchored VWAP. So remember, as traders, we play level to level. If you're already short from this area, then a TP for me would at least be like this, where the VWAP is, where your value area low is at 110.7. Now, if you do come down there and you start to bounce, well, first of all, I'd take some profit when we hit it no matter what, because we're probably going to see a little bit of a bounce. But if we break through it, then the next area I'd be looking for resistance or for take profit would be the SFP of Monday's lows into your anchored VWAP that we've never back tested since breaking above it. And then, of course, you could leave even a little bit more open, maybe leave 25% more open, and then you could come down to your next support level, which, by the way, this support level from yesterday has changed. This was our 786 and the value area low of our local range. But if we've made new highs on the chart today, so we repull that area. And actually, yeah, look at how nice that looks. So I would say this now is more important because you can see we have the swing failure pattern. Hold on, let me pull that over a little bit. We have the swing failure pattern of yesterday's low, liquidity grab of yesterday's low, into our golden pocket, our new golden pocket, and it's also your key anchored VWAP there. So 107.5 to 107K would be the really nice area if we break this area of support. Very, very locally, we are coming up to support right now. This area is our very local intraday support level. Now that we broke above it, and by the way, we broke above it with a volume imbalance candle. You can see that nice volume imbalance candle in there. And if we can now flip it, come down and hold it, then we expect to come up and make new highs for the day. If we start to lose it, then I'm going to be looking down to 107K. Let me ask you that question differently. Would you go buy Hyper now after that grab? Well, we'll look at Hyper. We'll look at AV&T. We'll look at Hyper. Flushification. I love that. Flushification. Yeah, there you go. Caleb, welcome in. Would make sense if they take out the lows from the weekend pump. Yes, and Caleb, good point there. Weekend lows and weekend highs often get taken out, guys. So we do have to be aware. Weekend lows and weekend highs. And let's see. This low on Sunday at 106K could absolutely be taken out. Now, our anchored VWAP on Bybit, let's go check Bybit real quick. Our anchored VWAP on Bybit is going to be around 106.8. Let's see on... Let's go to the daily time frame. And yeah, I guess our anchored VWAP on Bybit USD is 109.4. So we're above that. We're finally breaking above that. And then on Binance, it's going to be coming in right around 106.5, 106.4. Just a couple $100 different depending on the exchange. That's normal. Volume on each exchange is different. Now, who asked about that? The big DAP passive on that $15,000 short, swing short position. If we do come back up and SFP the all-time high into this pitchfork band, this pitchfork midline, and reject again. So say we do something like this and we break up and then we come up here, we SFP the all-time high into the pitchfork band and we reject up here a fourth or fifth time, you might be able to take a very nice swing short opportunity to come all the way back down to 96K. And we'll look at that as that develops, as more price action develops. Yesterday, I asked Grok which laptop to buy to mine Tau and how much time it will take to pay back the laptop and make profits. So it's possible to mine 1 to 2 tau per month. Laptop is paid back after 6 months. Wow, Dr. Rex, that's actually pretty cool. I mean, to me, that's worth it. If you definitely need the laptop too, that now you're banking on Tau holding up and not going into a bear market. But um, I would say that altcoins are so beat down already from that flush a couple weeks ago that that's up to you whether you want to do that. But that sounds not such a bad plan. Okay, let me get into some of the other stuff here so we can get into the altcoins. Total market cap, guys. We have now started to reclaim our pitchfork midline, and this is really key. So on the flush, we dropped all the way down to our golden pocket, and we hit our macro golden pocket, pulled from the last major low up to the high to this high all-time high. We hit that golden pocket, and now if we do start to reclaim this pitchfork midline, then we are going to be in business here. We are going to be in business to potentially push up, and what we would be looking for is a push up to this golden pocket up here, which you can see is an SFP of the dead cat bounce highs into that golden pocket. Now that golden pocket has been touched. Technically, this golden pocket has already been hit. That's what we rejected from right here. So actually, because that's been hit, let's look at the golden pocket from the dead cat bounce high. Yeah, and we're reclaiming the golden pocket there. What I would like to say here is that we are reclaiming the midline. The midline was support, kind of support here. We lost it, and then it acted as resistance throughout the weekend and yesterday. But if we reclaim it and close today above it, even back testing it today, I do think we are going to continue up to at least take out our dead cat bounce highs. That means total market cap, altcoins, Bitcoin's going to probably keep pumping. Maybe Bitcoin up to 117.6. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yes, we are seeing a little bit of a rejection from this golden pocket area. I don't like how we wick so far past it. To me, that sounds like it looks like we could at least continue up to the 786. But if we get up there, I think we're probably coming all the way to SFP, the dead cat bounce highs. And right now we're in the process of back testing. You can see broke above that pitchfork midline with the volume imbalance candle. So now we're in the process, similar to Bitcoin, to back testing that. If it holds, I think we're going to continue pushing higher here. And then if we look at our volume profile, okay, yeah, we're rejecting value area high right now. But you can see our POC is going to be right there where that back test is. So here's the thing. If Bitcoin comes down to 111K and total market cap's also at support here, nice scalp long opportunity. You have your confluence with total market cap, and you could keep going. Okay, AVNT. Advantis. Ooh, this is a newer coin. Is there a better chart for this? Let's check that out. Or a longer chart. Not really. All right, we'll stick here. Wow. There's not too much we can look at here. It's fairly new. I mean, we can mark out some of the key levels. So we do have, and I know I'm on log scale on this. I would keep it on log scale. We do have a daily level that's up here at 112. And then check this out. We have our bearish trend in here. You're breaking out of your bearish trend. That's good. So now that you're breaking out of your bearish trend, you can often come up and at least grab the liquidity of the second pivot of that trend. Well, where does the second pivot of that trend happen to be? In that general area of that daily. So you could see a rise. Now, you might see a drop to backtest this trend first, and then you might see a rise up to that daily. But this looks pretty good here. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. Your money flow starting to curve up here on the 4-hour. Same with NAMI here. Money flows in the green. Let's go back to our daily time frame real quick. Yeah, you have a few daily levels in here. Let's pull our golden pocket from the highs to these crash lows. And we're going to put that based off log scale. Man, we don't really have too much time frame support with our golden pocket, which is a shame. You can see we have a daily level here around 124. We have a daily level up here around 165 and a daily level up here around 220. Yeah, okay, so your zero 0.5 Fibonacci, that which is your equilibrium. Your equilibrium is going to be in alignment with that daily. And then let's go to this guy here, and we will pull. Now, this isn't going to be the nicest volume profile, but we're going to pull a volume profile. We're going to pull a couple. We're going to pull it like this sideways type range here. Yeah, you're rejecting value area low. And then we'll pull it of the entire downtrend here. And you are back, you're bouncing from value area low. So of the downtrend, after this impulse ended here, you've been in this corrective downtrend, overall making a higher low. You are bouncing from the value area low, and look again where your POC is, your next major volume resistance is going to be up in this area. So now we know there's some key confluence of resistance up in this general area of 112 to 118. You're breaking, and you remember the second pivot of your channel there. Liquidity is right up kind of in that area of that second pivot of the channel. And then also look at this low volume gap here. No, not a lot of volume in here. So if you start to break the value area low of the first range that I pulled, then you're probably going to flush up to that area pretty quickly. Okay, and then let's go check out a couple our naked POCs here. No naked POCs. Let's see. Is that a naked POC? Yeah, so we also have a naked weekly POC up here at 118. So this purple box here is very nice resistance between 112 and like 119 is going to be really nice resistance up here. Let's check out our naked dailies. Yeah, very, very nice. Okay, so you can see we also have a couple daily naked point of controls. We have a daily naked point of control at the top of the box, and we have a daily naked point of control at the bottom of the box, right on top of your daily level. So between 112 and 120-ish is super nice. There is a couple naked dailies before that. Now be aware of those. You might, but here's the thing: if you are starting a bullish uptrend, oops, let me do that. If you are starting a bullish uptrend, then you rejected that value area low. You might see a three-wave corrective move down, potentially even backtesting this POC, and then you're going to rise up. You're probably going to reject here, see a little bit of a drop, reject here, see a little bit of a drop, and then this is your real area where you could see a reversal. So yeah, you could look for TPs here and here to add once it gets a little bit lower, and then look for the actual like main TP area up here. We do have some nice, let me turn this off now. We do have some nice bull divs that we're developing here. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves, higher lows on the momentum waves here. Money flows crossed over into the green. Let's zoom in and look at the very local price action here. And you could even just play this range that's developed. This is kind of an intraday range in here. Yeah. Uh, if you do get back down, let me just check this. So if we look at our golden pocket from the highs of the range to the lows of the range, you did reject that golden pocket. So remember, in a three-wave corrective move, after seeing a kind of a big push up, you often will get a three-wave corrective move, and you often reject on that lower high from the golden pocket. So maybe we're going to come down and take out these range lows down here. And if we look at our trend-based Fibonacci extinction here, yeah, I mean, that 52-cent area is where that naked daily POC was. Yeah, around there. So you bouncing, and remember your main area of support is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. If we're going to see a bigger three-wave corrective move, then that general area between 52 and 48 could be a nice long opportunity even to bring all the way up to 112 to 120. So that's all I would be looking at with that personally. Like I wouldn't be I would be looking for longs down in this area and shorts up in this area. Anything other than that, it's scalping for me. I'm not too interested. But it is interesting that you're breaking your trend, your big descending channel trend. You can see this descending channel trend. You're breaking it, and you are seeing some nice impulsive price action. Let's turn on our volume real quick. Yeah, nice spikes in volume here. You can see towards the end of the trend, very low volume. Nice spikes. Okay, that is AV&T. Let me check what was the other one that we were going to look at. Hyper. Wait, would you buy Hyper now after that grab? Hyper Liquid. Is this the one, Hyper Liquid? Let me know if this is the right chart here. Gosh, that looks pumpy and dumpy, pumpy and dumpy. So maybe you're going to get another repeat of a pump, but be careful for that. Aster, we'll look at Aster as well. Yeah, guys, please, thank you, Abir. Please show your support by hitting the like button. I just appreciate you guys being here. We are growing, and I just love these streams, so thank you for joining. That 1.12 level was jumping out to me too. Yeah, awesome, Crypto Clown World. You know that daily, it's a daily, and there's also some naked points of control up there, so looks very good. Yeah. Only Orange Man supporters don't like the stream. Well, guys, just like the stream, no matter who you support. If you support me, just like the stream. How's that sound? Or support the TA in general. Cyberhawk audio is fine. Okay, yep, cool. Okay, sound is sound okay, guys? Yeah, you hear me? Sound is fine over here. Okay, cool. Yeah, Binance was doing some Dr. X. Binance for sure was doing some shady crap when that crash happened a couple weeks ago. I guess there was some timed manipulation that was going on there with some sort of migration. I paused. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let me know if this hyper is the right hyper. But for now, I'm gonna go on to Aster because I don't know if that's the right one. Aster USDT. Yeah, so we've broken our range lows. Remember, this was the range. The last time we looked at Aster, it was fairly new. We were looking at this upper range up here. Obviously, with the crash, we broke that range to the downside. You can see we even kind of back tested it and flushed down really quickly here. And now we are forming a different range. So, and that was looking at if it was going to be an ABC correction. But look at your range lows are now being flipped to resistance. So that's not good to see. What used to be your support level for a range is now acting as resistance. And to me, that does signal maybe more bearish continuation or at least some bearish consolidation, which that means we should be looking. The market is no longer pricing in the fair value of Aster in between this area. It's now pricing it in between, I would say, this area here is the fair value for Aster. So between the range highs at 159 down to about $1.02. What we can do now is we can pull our volume profile. I'm going to not include the crash right after the crash ended until our current day. And this is also bad. What we're seeing now is we rejected the value area high. So when it got to those prior lows, not only did we reject our prior lows, but we're also rejecting the value area high of your volume profile, showing that you want to go back, at least touch the bottom of the volume profile. Now, when we touched the bottom, we saw a small bounce, made a lower high, and continued our bearish trend. and now we're flipping the value area low to resistance. So this tells me that we might continue lower. And there's a couple things we can look at here with this. The lows from last Friday, a couple days ago, Friday, October 25th, were not taken out yet. We did see a front run of those lows, but because we're finding if we can reclaim the value area low, I expect to move up. And we'll look at the levels in a second. But if we reject here, then you're at least going to come down and take out last Friday's lows and potentially even continue down to take out the crash lows down here. Let's pull our volume profile, or excuse me, our Fibonacci retracement from the range highs to the range lows. So yeah, that golden pocket is coming in around $1.40, $1.39. We're going to look at our naked daily points of controls. Okay, this naked daily's been tapped, so we'll get rid of that. That was this one. But we do have a naked daily point of control above us at your range point of control. And then this naked daily point of control is actually really nice as well, because it would be an SFP of the range highs into a naked daily point of control that has not been tapped yet. So couple levels that I'm already interested in. And let me turn this to the 786 as well. Yeah. So golden pocket is kind of nice, but a nicer resistance would be the 786, where you have a naked daily point of control and your range point of control as well. And then really down below us, you can see today we're kind of bouncing from that point of control from Friday. What was that? Was that Thursday, Friday point of control? I'm sorry, these are daily points of controls. Okay, and let's actually check the weeklies real quick, because if we have a weekly point of control up here, it's going to look real nice. Yeah, and we do. We do have a naked weekly point of control up here as well. So very, very nice volume resistance at that $1.46 level. And $1.46 to $1.47 would be the area where we could see a pretty big rejection from that general area. First order of business, though. First order of business is to reclaim our value area low at $1.20. You reclaim $1.20, then we have a high likelihood of probably continuing up to that 786 before seeing at least a drop to backtest that value area low. And that could be a nice short from $1.46 all the way down to $1.20. If we do reject right now and cannot get back inside the volume profile, I expect us to continue down to take out the lows from last Friday. And then we'll look at, you still have a naked weekly point of control up here, which is pretty nice. But if you break 147, I think you're going to come up and take out the range highs. And an SFP of the range highs from Monday, October 13th, into your naked daily point of control would also be another scalp short opportunity. So only if you get the confirmed SFP. Remember, only if you get the confirmed SFP. But this is really nice, because if you do, your volume resistance is right above this. So say somehow we can work our way up into this area, you SFP this area, you hit your naked daily, and as soon as you lose that high, you can look for the short to take back down. Now, if you do, we have a lot of work to do to get there. So you're still going to have to break back above 786 and the naked weekly, naked daily point of control, range point of control. And then if you really wanted to get degen with this thing, you could even pull a range from this little guy in here. Yeah, you might be able to bounce from this 111.9, pretty much 112 area, but that's kind of what I would say. Okay. Sean, thank you so much for the super stream. I don't have a trading course available. Really, I just kind of teach in my live streams, and I try to explain what I'm doing in my live streams and my videos. But I am thinking about making one. I'm thinking about making a trading course, and of course, if I did, it would be available to like the Telegram for a major discount, and probably it would be pretty cheap, you know. So that's something I've been thinking about for a couple weeks now. I've had a few people ask me in the couple weeks, so I will keep you updated on that, Sean. But thank you so much for that super chat. That's not the reason why I like him. And for me, the charts were bearish, so that's why I would long when the charts told me to short. Yeah, that's why I would long when the charts told me to short. Okay. Two. We'll do ARB. Quiles, thank you so much for the super chat. Yep, we will do ARB. Okay. All right, guys. So for Arbitrum, let me get rid of that. That was a example I was showing last stream. I still do think we have some nice resistances up in this box up here, 42 to 43 cents up here. And then what we can do is we can look at this volume profile pulled after the crash ended. Now let me zoom out real quick onto our daily and let's get a look at our bigger volume profile. So this is our somewhat of an accumulation range up here. This bottoming range on the daily time frame. Accumulation range in here. You can see we had a failed auction breakout of it in this general area, but we fell back in, and of course that was like an impulse down. Obviously, an impulse down there. But what I am seeing here right now on Arbitrum, it on the higher time frames, and I know this is messy, so please excuse this up here. I don't keep an object tree for this one because I don't trade it much. But you can see we are below the point of control of our range, which is also the value area high of our smaller range, around the value area high of our smaller range. We did see a nice bounce, by the way, from our local support level, generally in this area, value area low. It did wick a little bit farther than we were looking for, but this was the general area we were looking at. So let's get rid of that real quick. And that naked weekly POC, let me just double check. I believe that's been tapped now. Yeah, that's been tapped, so we'll get rid of that. I'm just going to mark this one real quickly. But what I would be looking at on Arbitrum, so a couple things here. Turn this off. A couple things here. We are in this bottoming range after the crash. So we're just starting to kind of reaccumulate after the crash on smaller time frames, trying to figure out what the market wants to do. What I would say here is you bounced from the value area low last Friday, deviation value area low, bounce from it, and now we came up to the value area high. So you're just range trading the small range of the last couple of weeks. The thing is with this, if we reject this value area low, you can look at the POC, which is kind of where your VWAP is. If we're going to continue bullishly, that's probably going to bounce us, and we're going to continue up at least up to this naked weekly POC. Let's pull a Fibonacci from the highs of the range to the lows of the range. Yeah, you're rejecting your golden pocket and value area high right now. So this could be the high for the day. It probably is going to depend on if Bitcoin can hold 111K. And I got to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, you see we're rejecting our golden pocket and value area high. Now, if Arbitrum is not done yet, and we have bear divs. 1, 2, 3 drives of bear div here. So I would say that Arbitrum does have a likelihood to at least rotate down to your POC at 32 cents, really. 31.9, 32 cents. But the value area low, now let's pull a Fibonacci from our last range lows to our current high. Now you can't pull it to the range high because that was before your current high. And look at this, your 786 is going to be a perfect confluence with that value area low. And if we're just going to continue to trade the volume profile, you reject your lower high golden pocket value area high. If we do lose the POC, we're probably going to rotate down to the value area low. And in altcoins, the 786 actually bounces you more than the golden pocket, at least in a lot of altcoins. And you can also see your 786 is in alignment with your naked weekly POC up here. this. But we'll look on some of the larger time frames on Arbitrum. The thing you're looking at right now is you're chopping around your channel midline. And if we zoom out onto the daily time frame, this descending channel has been a major descending channel from the highs up here. You can see we've been chopping and respecting this descending channel quite a bit. So I would at least expect to see some sort of bounce from this midline area, and we kind of are seeing that bounce. Now that's crazy. Your wicked all the way down to 10 cents. That's just liquidation volatility stuff. But because we did take out all those lows in here of the accumulation, daily time frame, you are seeing bull divs here. So you can see it's from this low to that low. Bull divs, money flow is not quite bottomed out. You have bull divs here, and money flow is turning up on NAMI. Now remember, NAMI is faster than Market Cipher B, but on Market Cipher B, your money flow is still kind of coming out here. And what that tells me is that the range might continue a little bit more. And because we're rejecting today the value area high of the range and the golden pocket lower high of the range, we might start to see a rotation back down to the bottom of the range, which is that 29.8 area. We do have a couple other levels in here. So let's mark out this daily from Friday. And that daily is going to be where your golden pocket is. So let's now zoom back in onto the 1 hour chart. And if we're looking at this 786 value area low, but if we turn on that same Fibonacci and we put on the golden pocket as well, you can see the golden pockets at the daily. And you have some nice liquidity riding into that golden pocket. So this is a little bit of a tough one because I would say very, very locally, golden pocket daily is a support level. But just below that is also the support level of the 786 and the value area low. But if you did short this, like if you came up here, you shorted this up here, I would at least leave some open. I would probably take, 25% at the POC. And then I would take probably 50% more of that at this golden pocket, and I would leave some open, maybe take 10% of what's left at the position there, because you could just rotate this volume profile. Boom, boom, and then you could just start to break it up. We'll see. We'll have to see. The bear divs on the chart is what's a little bit concerning here. You have a triple drive of bear div, and you even look like you have money flow bear div in here. Money flow bear div in here. Yeah, and unfortunately, on your weekly time frame, money flow is draining out, and your momentum wave still looks like it has some left to go. But you did create with that drop, with that wick. I don't know if I trust that too much, but you did create some nice, finally, weekly bull divs here. Lower lows, potentially higher lows here. And you are in sort of an accumulation range, like we talked about on the daily time frame. This larger sideways range in here. Actually, I would even say this here. Now you're near the lows of that range. Let's turn on that volume profile one more time. Yeah. Okay, so of our larger volume profile, that 786 is not only the value area low of our smaller volume profile, but it's also the value area low of our larger volume profile. So local levels that I would look at for scalps on ARB, I just laid out. And then the bigger level where if you're really bullish on ARB long term, that 29.8 area could be a nice little area to look for a bigger long. Okay. That is it for ARB. Let me check Bitcoin real quick here. Yeah, I hope Bitcoin keeps dropping a little bit more. We're just kind of grinding down here. And we are, okay, money flow is starting to roll off again. But hidden bull div. I just think that we are at least going to come down to touch the pitchfork. But if we come a little bit lower to hit the VWAP and the value area low, Could be a nice scalp long position. Yes. Thank you, Abir, for posting the Telegram chat. Thank you so much. And Abir, I'll message you in Discord after the stream. I know you sent me a message that I didn't quite get a chance to get to. A lot of alts show this weekly bull div. If you include the wick, I'm excited for Floki. Yeah, a lot of them are showing that. Now, here's the thing. On those big flash crashes like that, sometimes it's dangerous to include the wick. Sometimes it really can be dangerous to include that wick. But either way, a lot of the altcoins are near like lows right now. And so if you do think the cycle's not over, I actually am not so sure about that. I've been saying this entire year that I do not think that this altcoin cycle is going to be the same as regular as other altcoin cycles. So, a couple things we can look at on Floki. You have your huge daily range in here that goes back to March of 2024, and you are bouncing from the value area low. That is nice to see. Yes, of course, that wick, right? That huge wick in there. And then I would pull a descending channel because this is your downtrend, right? Your overall macro downtrend of that range. Now, you found acceptance below the channel midline, and look at where we're rejecting today. We're rejecting the channel midline today. If we turn that range back on, yeah, you're stuck between the midline and the value area low. Now your POC is just a little bit higher. And I would look at a different range as well. So we have the range of the full, oops, wrong one. We have the range of the full, but you can kind of see this is broken up. All the price action above the channel midline was kind of an upper range in here. And then you have the price action below the channel midline, which is a range down below with a little bit of a deviation failed auction in here. So you have two ranges. You can pull them as one bigger range to look at the overall volume levels, the macro volume levels of this sideways trend. But what I would be focusing on right now, especially because we're kind of finding acceptance below this channel midline, or we're starting, you can see most of the price action of this upper range was above the channel midline. You had some deviation below it. But now it's the opposite. Most of the price action of this lower range is below the channel midline, and you just have a little bit of deviation above it. So what I would be looking at, and especially since we closed after the crash, we've closed multiple weeks down below it, or at least 2 weeks down below it, I would be pulling a volume profile of this lower range. So right after this candle ends, because that's part of your big flush down, right after that candle ends, I would be pulling a range, and so almost the same volume levels, actually. Pretty much the same exact value area low and POC, but your value area high is a little bit high, is different, of course. So let's look at pulling a Fibonacci from the last daily highs to those crash lows. And what we're going to do with this volume profile, or with this golden pocket, you're seeing we're rejecting from it now, but I want to make sure that's on log scale, because that is more than a 30% drop to the downside. Okay, so we've already reclaimed it. Let's turn that off log scale. So very nice, clean rejection from your channel midline. And if you start to lose this golden pocket in here, then I would expect to flush down to the value area low. And then, of course, you could pull your Fibonacci from the range lows after the crash, right? After the crash to the highs that we just made today. Yeah, and that's 786. That 786 is going to be at the value area low of your smaller daily range, your bigger daily range. And then there's one more thing we can look at. You can pull a range after the crash ended, the mega crash ended sideways. Yeah, POC's there. Let's zoom in a little bit more. I know this chart is looking messy right now, guys. But yes, so this is what I would be looking at. Your level of support where you could look for long is that area between 6822 and 6723. And the reason why I say that is you rejected your channel midline. You had a lower high bounce and you're rejecting from the golden pocket, but you're also losing the value area high of your 2 week long range. So if you fall back inside the value area high, then that means you can work your way down to the POC. And your POC has confluence of macro value area low support along with your POC support here. And sure, if we turn on some volume levels, let's let that load up. Okay, that's this week, so it's only Tuesday, so we're not going to look at that. And let's look at the dailies. Wow. Yep, nothing really in here. But if you're super bullish on Floki, this could be a nice long area of a scalp that turns into more. You know, if you come down here in a 3-wave corrective move, zigzag corrective move down here, you could look for the long at least up to this 0946 area. Money flow on 4-hour looking bullish. Okay. Chicken salt. I just did Aster. Like 10 minutes ago, I think it was. But to answer your question, was that on Bybit? Yeah. To answer your question, I mean, we are at the value. I just said earlier in the stream that if we do get to the value area low in the VWAP, it could be a nice scalp. And let me see if I was pulling that bigger range there. Yeah, but you're below the value area low of your 2-week long range, and you're finding acceptance below it by rejecting here earlier today. So the big thing is until you reclaim 120, you're probably going to at least come take out these range lows from last Thursday, Friday at 102. And it's very similar to what we're seeing. You had your upper range in here, you lost it. You have your smaller range down here. You're losing it, and you're trying to get back inside of it. Rejection, rejection, rejection. That could be your like head and shoulders type formation. And now we're gonna at least come down to take out 102. But if you SFP 102, that could be a nice little scalp long opportunity, only if you get the confirmed swing failure pattern. So remember, that means if you pierce the level and then reclaim it. And if you are looking at that long from here, say you're going to pierce that level, you're going to put your stop below the wick. My TP1 would be that value area low again. That's still a 5-to-1 risk reward ratio. That's a really good risk reward ratio, even for a little scalp. Higher time frames on Aster, though, it is looking pretty bad. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to get some bull divs here because you are starting to form a consolidation in here. Let me do this. You can see it is sort of a triangle that's forming in here, I would say. And you might just continue to consolidate in this triangle. The thing with that is you dumped into the consolidation, so you actually have a higher probability of dumping out of it and at least taking the lows. And after you take the lows, you might push back up. Yeah, it's just there's no bull divs because you keep making higher lows here. Because we're finding acceptance below the value area low, I would look to come take out 102. But very, very locally, if you are bullish on Aster, you could do that scalp from the VWAP value area low of your super small range. This little guy in here, you're about to hit the value area low in the VWAP. And in a bullish trending day, if you break above the VWAP, you come back down, you bounce from it, then you're probably going to continue your bullish trend at least locally. So long, value area low, take profit, value area high. Uh, Mini thanks on Floki. I'm bullish because I was DCAing before the crash and I caught the crash bottom at 0016178. Wow, dude, that is great. That is really awesome, man. Way to go there. Let's go back to Floki real quick. And thank you so much for the super chat. Floki USDT. I believe I did buy it. 004. So yeah, even if you come down to this area, you're still in profit. The big thing I would be watching for on Floki, because we are rejecting that channel midline and we're losing the value area high in the golden pocket, just watch for a 3-wave corrective move down. 3-wave corrective move down. And that area, actually, you could even look to add. Let's look on higher time frames. But if you do get down here, you might even look to add to it, because you could push up to that 786 up there. And then if it's really going to take off, you might be in a really good position. I don't like how this money flow is starting to curve out again, and it's already topped out on NAMI. That's the daily time frame. So when money flow starts to roll over again on the daily time frame, you often will get a lower low, lower than this low. You'll create those bull divs on the daily, and by then money flow should be bottoming out here. So just if you do not bounce from the 786 at 67, then you're probably going to come take out your lows. It's a very high probability you're going to take out the 06122 lows. So BG, thank you for the super chat. I would be interested if you do SFP those lows at 06. I would be interested in adding to it. And I don't know if that's spot or if that's a futures trade that's open, a derivatives trade. But either way, that's awesome, man. That's really good. I mean, worst case, you could come back down to 3.7 again. Okay, Bitcoin 4-hour money flow. Let's see here. Okay, guys, we are at, okay, perfect. We are at our VWAP here. Let's check the, so right now, money flow doesn't look very good here. Money flow's not looking too hot here. On the 12-minute, let's go to the 6-minute chart here. Hidden bear div just printed. Money flows crossing into the red. No bull divs. Very slight bull divs on NAMI, but we did print a hidden bear. If we start to bounce right now, if we bounce and reclaim the pitchfork, I'm going to look for a long. So I'll be doing this. Longing the reclaim of the pitchfork. Stop goes below the low, and I'll be looking to come up to actually hit your pitchfork midline. That's a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio, 5.3 risk-to-reward ratio. Remember, you're going to calculate your position size based off of this number. So you're going to take 1% of your portfolio, whatever 1% of your portfolio is, and you're going to divide it by, you're going to move the decimal over. So 0059. I'm going to, give me a second. I'm actually going to calculate that for myself really quickly. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's not much confirmation here, to be honest, guys. Money flow looks bad on the 1-minute. Yes, you have a little bit of a bottom here on the 1-minute. 5-minute, no bull divs really. Money flow in the red, money flow in the red, no bull divs. 15-minute, no, there's no possibility of bull divs unless we come down to 107K. But be aware that this could give us a bounce. If we lose this level, that means we rejected important volume resistance and we're now falling back underneath the value area low. That could be bad. That means you could come down to take out that low from yesterday into 107K and actually touch the anchored VWAP. So we're going to watch this while we're on stream. We're going to watch this. If we, yeah, it could actually be a nice, like, let's look at our order flow actually. Did we get, ooh, we had a lot of fresh shorts. Look at this, guys. A lot of fresh shorts. And we know they're fresh shorts because your open interest is increasing. CVD is decreasing. Now, the CVD is market longers and shorters. So we know that a lot of people were shorting really actually from like this area here. A lot of people were shorting and it was new short positions because your open interest is increasing. We did have some longs, like look at these longs that came in here towards the top. Oh my gosh. People started longing in here. And that's why we're getting a little bit of a squeeze right now. We're squeezing out those late longers, longing right into volume resistance. Always you'll see people that do that. Now, we haven't made it down to the VWAP on Bybit yet. It's at 110, 300, 350-ish, let's say. About 2K on a 1K account. I like round, I think that means round numbers. 200 bucks at 10x levy. Looks like we're going lower though. So wait, about 2K on a 1K account. You're trading 2K on a 1K account because that's way too much risk. That's double the risk of the entire portfolio. Yeah, that would be 2K. So, Travi, I am not telling you how to trade at all, but in proper trading, you really want to risk 1 to 3% of your portfolio per trade. So, for example, in your account, if you have a 1K account, right? Let me pull up my calculator real quick. If you have a 1K account, that means 1% of 1K, so $1,000 times 0.01 equals $10, right? You have, so risking 1% of your account, you'd be risking $10. That doesn't mean your position size is $10. That means you're risking $10. So if we're longing the reclaim of the pitchfork, our stop is going to go below the low, and we're looking to come up to the, this would be target one, you know, up there. That's a 5.25. So already your risk reward ratio is proper. This should be like 3 or higher or 2.5 or higher. But now what you're going to do is that's a 0.6% stop loss. So now you're going to come into your calculator. Oh, dang it. Did I close it? You're going to do $10, which is 1% of your portfolio, divided by, and we're going to take this decimal, we're going to move it over twice. So 0.0060. Your position size can be $1,666. That means, and if you long it, or if you come up to your take profit and you take full take profit, you'll make 5 times more than you were risking. So you'll make $50 up here. You're risking 10 to make 50, $50.25 or so. That's the way that would work. Now, if you have a 1K account, oh, position size. Okay, wait. You have a 2K position size. Okay, so you're, depending on where your stop loss is, you could be risking a little bit more than 1%, but I would say that's acceptable because this is a $1,600 position size. So if you're risking $2,000, you're risking about 1.5%, maybe a little bit more. So, okay, I could see that. Yeah, but very, and 0.53 stop loss. Okay, yeah, you know what you're doing. Sounds like you know what you're doing. Awesome, Travi. Awesome. We can look at HBAR. Thank you, Johnny, so much for the super chat. Let's, guys, let me know in the chat. Actually, let's do this on the 1 minute. I just want to do that, and we'll set an alert. If we come back above that, I want to know. Okay, for H bar, looks like we're at a golden pocket area right now, but which one is it? Ooh, okay. So H bar, a couple things on H bar. You can see here we are in a bigger volume profile. This is our bigger upper volume profile that goes all the way back to December of 2024. So almost 2 years long now. Let me pull that to current price action. We are below the value area low and we rejected it on the dead cat bounce. That right there should tell you that we could come lower. We could come down. That monthly's been tapped with the wick, of course, but we'll look at those levels. Let me just diagnose this real quick. You're at your larger golden pocket. You're hovering right around your larger golden pocket, pulled from your last major daily low up to that high, and you're hovering around the golden pocket. Obviously, the wicked crazy. This would have been nice to come just a itty bit lower here. Let me get rid of this golden pocket for a second. This was obviously busted through with a crash. This boom. And then you see we have a couple channels on the chart. So I'm going to hide the big one for a second. You can see we were in this descending channel. We're kind of chopping around the bottom of the channel. And actually, you could even take this, throw this there, or let me try this. Yeah, nice looking descending channel here. So you're in this descending channel. You're kind of bouncing from the bottom, but look at where your value area low is around your midline here. So be aware that you could reject pretty much 18.9 cents, 18.9 to 19 cents. And if you do, I expect us to come a little bit lower. We'll look at some levels real quick. Okay, that monthly, we got that. Let's go to the weekly. Daily here. Let's mark out our daily. We touched it. Because we touched it, we're not going to mark it out. That's where we bounced from this weekend. And we have a daily at 19.45-ish, let's say. Okay, now let's go in on the 1 hour time frame. And a couple things I'd be looking at here. So let me actually pull this all the way. You are below your macro value area low. This is what's important for macro, okay? You're below your 2-year long value area low, and on the dead cat bounce, you tried to reclaim and get back inside, and you're failing still. So that means we could continue the downtrend because macro, you've lost important volume support and you've backtested it bearishly and you're still rejecting or you're still ranging below it. Ranging below it's not a good sign. You are at the bottom of the channel, or you were this weekend, this last Friday. And then we'll look at our bigger channel. So before we do local stuff, let's look at our bigger channel. We're going to turn off this smaller descending channel. And we're going to look at our bigger channel that we had on the charts. Now that channel is going to be pulled from this high to this lower high and then down to this low. So if we turn that on, I believe that's the channel. Yep, that's the channel. You can see where do we bounce on the crash at the bottom of the channel. So after seeing an aggressive pump up, we've now been ranging in a descending channel. You cannot call this a bull flag because this flag is too long. And the crash that you saw there with high volume would invalidate a bull flag. But you can still trade it as a pump, multi-month correction, and then in a bullish scenario, you can still pump. The thing is, you did front run this very, very key support down here being the back test of your value area low of your prior accumulation. This was accumulation range. And you front ran the larger golden pocket. So if you pull a golden pocket from the lows to the highs, and because that's more than 100% move to the upside, let me just make sure this is on. You have to turn. So first we're going to turn on golden pocket, but because that's more than 100% move to the upside, you take that golden pocket and you put it on log scale. We're on a log chart. Okay, that is where that golden pocket is coming in at. So if we do take out the crash lows into that golden pocket and that value area low, potential swing long opportunity down here. Now that you have an SFP into that, didn't mean to do that. Now that you have an SFP into that level, this could be a swing long. And I don't know if other exchanges hit that. I'm sure some other exchanges did, but I go off Coinbase. And you can see we did not hit it. The thing is, if you lose this channel midline of the bigger channel, so let's zoom in onto the 2 hour, you are finding acceptance below your value area low. If you now come down to this midline, we could see a bounce to continue up to that daily level. Is that daily fresh? Yes, I think that was one we just marked out. Yes. Okay. Nice. So what I want to do now is I'm going to pull a golden pocket from last Friday's lows to the highs we just made today. Yeah, that golden pocket is looking nice because that golden pocket there, if we come down, bounce, we could continue up to the value area high and potentially to that daily level. What we now also can do is look at our mini range that is formed since the crash ended. Yeah, value area low, golden pocket, channel midline, all around the same area. Okay. And because you keep rejecting your POC, rejection of POC, rejection of POC, when you rejected the POC here, you front ran the value area low. So now we could be seeing a flat where you take out the highs of yesterday. Now we're going to come take out the lows of yesterday. And then you could continue your bullish trend. So bullish trend, flat correction in here, then bullish trend continuation. That's what we could be looking at. So for me, local support between 16.7 and 16.4 looks really good. Looks like a pretty good level. This is bad though. Higher high, higher high, higher high. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Money flow. Lower high, bear divs. Bear divs here. So 1 hour is suggesting that we at least get a little bit of a drop down to 16 cents. 16.4 to 16. Or, sorry, 16.7 to 16.4. Now, if you lose that, I mean, we're going to come take out these ranged lows. And then if you do not SFP the ranged lows, you're probably going to even potentially see a much bigger drop down to your golden pocket. At 12, 12.9 to 12.6. Down here. So Bitcoin's not reclaiming, huh? I just got here, y'all. Y'all long or short on the trade. Right now, we're looking, John, about getting into a scalp long, but I'm not in a trade yet. I thought my liquidation level was my stop loss. How do I get my Lambo? You just have to. There's a new Lego set that's out. It's got a really nice pink Lambo in it, ZMX, and that's how I got my Lambo. It's really awesome. That's a triple bearish divergence on your question, Johnny. Yeah, bearish divergence on the question. Just check Bitcoin real quick. All right, it's trying to hold in there, but not looking too hot right now. Money flow, not looking too hot. Not looking too hot. I'm waiting for a reclaim of 112.2-ish or 111.2. KDA rug. Ooh, yeah, it is. Wow. That's like recently. Jesus. Now, I don't know if, I mean, it looks like a rug, but this could be about what's about to happen to the rest of the altcoins, guys. You saw a very aggressive drop, sideways range, and then the trend continues. But on KDA, I mean, first of all, I would never ever try to catch this knife. I would wait for a range to form, and then you could look for a push up. But if you pull a golden pocket from the lows to your range highs, yeah, you're at your golden pocket right now. If you start to form a range here at this golden pocket, you could start to look for a long. But here's the thing, guys. Money flow looks bearish. Hidden bear div printed. This thing, if it's really rugging, like if something happened to it and it's rugging, you could easily drop down. Yeah, look at this drop. Might be a hack though. Yep. See, so I wouldn't touch this. Personally, I wouldn't touch this. Yeah, you are just dropping. No reaction at the golden pocket almost. New moon tonight and crypto meeting today. Now, new moons are supposed to be a little bit bullish for crypto, I believe. Full moons, no, wait, bearish, right? Bearish for crypto, and full moons are bullish. Oh, they discontinued the project. Wow. Well, yeah, of course now everyone's going to sell off. This thing might go to zero. I would not touch this, guys, especially if they just said they're discontinuing the project. This thing is just everyone's going to sell off. Yep, Solana rejected that area that we were looking at, naked weekly point of control in confluence with your local golden pocket. Now, because we've reclaimed the pitchfork band, this like band in here, if we do come back down and backtest this, I would potentially look for long around 187, or if we backtest the bottom of the band, 182. I do believe we have a daily level at 182 as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really nice area. And actually, I would move this box up just a little bit from 183 to 182. That's your box. You have a golden pocket, a liquidity grab, and a daily level at the bottom of a pitchfork. Solana looks kind of nice for a long opportunity, scalp long, because you could be seeing a flat in here where now you're going to come take out the lows. So you took out the highs. Now you took out the highs here. Now you could come down, take out the lows here, and then you could continue. Yeah, Sean, it looks like it is being discontinued. Kadena. And that was a proof of work as well. Let's see. Let me check Bitcoin here. All right. I mean, it's trying to hold, guys. It's trying to hold. 1 minute, no bull divs. But you do have a nice trigger wave. Money flow starting to come up here. I would want a little bit lower just because the Bybit VWAP is a little bit lower and you don't have bull divs quite yet. Let's take a look at ETH real quick here. Man, you guys, so ETH on Ethereum, if we pull a golden pocket from last Friday's low to the highs, we did bounce, no, from these highs. We didn't hit that golden pocket, right? We front ran that golden pocket, pulled from this low to this high. We had front run the golden pocket. So now what we could be seeing in here is a flat correction, right? You come down, you front run the golden pocket, you come up, you take out the highs, and now we're going to drop back down to take out the lows. But you got to change your golden pocket because you made new highs. So now you put that golden pocket up here, and look at what would happen if we come down to that level. An SFP of the lows into the golden pocket, which would also be a flat kind of target for the flat SFP. And I would even say you might even come down and touch this pitchfork band at 37.93 ish, 37.92. I'm just going to set an alert here. And then even this low here was front run. Yeah, they're both very similar. So yeah, what's up, Job Fuel? Nice to see you, man. Got time for Super? I don't think much has changed. Yeah, I'll look at Super here. I'm still waiting to come down, Job Fuel. I'm waiting to come down to take out those lows. Remember, we've talked about those the last couple of streams. We got so close to taking those lows out at the bottom of the range. I really do think we're going to come down and take those out. So for me, if we SFP that 3687, 36687, I would look for long because it's at the bottom of the range. And this is a nice little range in here. If we do not SFP, it could get bad because once again, like left shoulder, head, right shoulder in here type of thing. And if we do start to break this down, I would break down into this, 23 to 24 cent area where you have a daily order block in here. But I would still be patiently waiting to come down. So now if we look at the last couple days of price action, you can see that we formed this range. I mean, I would look at two things. You could look at this smaller range right in here. You're back testing the value area high right now. If you fall back inside the volume profile, I bet you're going to come take out that low. And then you could also look at this larger range here. And yeah, you're still chopping around the value area low. Money flow looks kind of bad on the 1 hour. You did have the bear divs here, higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. You also have bear divs on money flow. Well, not, yeah, not quite bear divs on money flow, but yeah, you lose this VWAP. I bet you're going to come to POC at least. Take out these lows. But I would honestly not be interested in anything until we took out that 36.6. Time Attack, welcome in, man. So good to see you. And what's up from Florida? Awesome, dude. It's good to see you from Florida. Yes, chicken salt. If I do a course, pitchforks will be a major part of that course because I'm a pitchfork trader. I really love pitchforks, especially for key swing positions. Uh, they're great for me. They're great. Yeah, I mean, you're topping out here. Money flow's starting to curve back over again. I would be looking to come down. Like today's daily candle close at this value area low. You're pretty much right at the macro value area low right now. But it's I don't think we're going to get that close to taking out the liquidity and front run it. Now we did that. If you remember, we did that here, got that close and didn't take it out, and we got a nice big ass push up. So it's possible it happens again. probable no. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna fall back inside the volume profile, the small one. In some ways, it's starting to already. Bitcoin's really trying to hold this. It's starting to form a nice little range here. You can see that we do have nice little range. I want to look at this. Are we starting to see? Uh, I mean, open interest is decreasing here, but you are starting to see some longs come in. TNB Willow, welcome in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. If you've learned anything from this video, got any sort of insight into the market today on how to trade, on levels, please hit the like button for me. I would really appreciate that. It's a free way to help the channel. Now, remember, guys, if we reclaim 112.2, I'm going to look for long with the stop below the low. And I'd be looking at, taking out the highs from earlier today. Really, I would like to come to that pitchfork band to actually hit the pitchfork band. And then at 115.2, we have that daily. The value area low of our range is here. Or excuse me, value area low. You can see we busted back above earlier today. Nice volume imbalance, bust back into the volume profile, rejected from local volume resistance. If we come down and hold this, then I expect us to at least come up a little bit higher here. Potentially coming up to that. This week we buy dips, next week we sell the rips. Or it could be like that meme, I bought the dip, it goes lower, bought the dip, it goes lower, bought the dip, it goes lower. No, but you know what? Time attack, I do think, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty right now in the markets, and the weekly close above 107.3 was very bullish in some respects. If we can close above 111K today, I'm going to be even more bullish. 110.8. I'm going to be even more bullish. And yeah, in some ways, I think we'll start to rip. 115K is the weekly view up. Yep, that or monthly view up. That's perfect there. That's right in our resistance zone with the daily level up there at 115.2 and the pitchfork band. Yeah, we do. If you want to be bullish, yeah, you want to break it. Really, breaking 111K, breaking 107 was your first major target to do. We did that. Now breaking 111K was your second major target. We're breaking it. We're back testing it as we speak. Money flow is starting to come up again here, looking a little bit good on market cipher B. We got 10 minutes left till the close. If we close this red, it's probably going to start to roll over again, which would be bad, guys, because then we would have bear divs, triple drive. We would also have money flow bear divs. Same here, bear divs, multiple drives, money flow bear divs. Man, this thing is going to just hover here forever. Well, we know what to look for. I have an alert set. I want to check out Ethereum again. Ethereum, man, yeah, I would like to come down here to long if we get down there on Ethereum. But once again, guys, you can just pull a volume profile. So first of all, we bounced from our major support level, major macro support level. Nice, nice, strong bounce. But I talked about this in the video yesterday, or yeah, yesterday. We did not hit the weekly level just below. We have a weekly level that's just below, and we have a naked daily point of control that's below that at 3,500 to 3,489. And seeing an SFP of these lows into that, if we range in here for a bit and we drop that SFP, if we bounce from the weekly and confirm the SFP, I'm going to look for a super swing long, potentially up to $6,000, 5,800. Yeah, we're rejecting value area high though, and we took out the highs from the weekend highs. Remember, weekend highs and weekend lows often get taken out. We SFP of weekend highs at the value area high of our range, and now we're losing POC and VWAP. It makes sense that we can drop to this golden pocket. And where are our weekend lows? So looks like weekend lows are into that golden pocket as well. 38, 30-ish. Did I check this? Okay. BTC trying to hold the value area low of the big range. Yes, that's exactly what we're trying to do on BTC. We're trying to hold that value area low back test of our 3-month long range. We broke above it. We're back testing it. We're trying to hold above it. If we can hold above it, I expect a new high for today, a new high above the highs for today. But if we start to lose it, like this is very key, guys. This is very, very key. After rejecting from a triple anchored VWAP volume resistance, if we start to lose it, 107K is likely because it's the weekend lows or Monday lows and into actually touching the anchor VWAP, which we haven't back tested yet. And of course, it would be a liquidity grab of yesterday's lows into a golden pocket, into an anchored VWAP. Even local bear divs here. Now, money flow looks good, and money flow is always going to overpower a single drive of bear divs. That's why we could bounce. Let me check Bitcoin dominance here. I just don't like the way this looks, guys. This looks like a wedge in here. And you get your big flush down. You get that wedgie type price action, and you can get another big flush down. Now, actually, that looks good for altcoins, though. That could be very nice for altcoins. And if Bitcoin holds this value area low and closes today inside this value area low, we could see altcoins run. USDT hit our level. Remember, we wicked up into it with that major crash, but we were looking to kind of come back up into that general area again. And it did come up into that general area of the golden pocket. And now we're retesting the value area high. If USDT falls back inside of this range value area high, that's when we could also see more confirmation for a run on Bitcoin and the altcoins. But if we hold this, Bitcoin's going to keep dumping. The major value area high of your accumulation range. In here, accumulation range. If we hold it, we're going to do this. Push up. You're probably going to push up to these highs up here. If not, you're probably going to break down, see a bounce from here, back test that, come down to POC. Yeah, that would be super nice. All um although crap ton of liquidity at 115. Yeah, let's check the liquidity here. Well, we took out all the local liquidity. Let's check for like the last week. Man, we took out that liquidity, guys. That could be bad. Took out the liquidity into our key anchored VWAPs, and now we're dropping. This here is on Binance. Let me check the symbol. This is an aggregated. Yeah, dang. Yeah, but we do on the 2 week chart. Actually, it's above, it's at like 117. It's above really into our golden pocket at 117.5 to 117.6. So if we can maintain, yeah, we might be looking at 117.6. Man, it's I don't like how this is forming here. This almost looks like a little bear flag. Pull, flag, drop. Yeah, honestly, the next major liquidity is at that 117 to 117.5. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Guys, I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes and then I got to get going. But you know my plan here for Bitcoin. If we can reclaim 112.2, like 112.250, I plan to long with my stop below this low that just occurred. For me, the TP1 would be actually just breaking these highs. I would like to come up a little bit higher, but if we break these highs and then we start to lose them, I will just close 50%. Not long yet. We don't see confirmation yet. No bull divs. You at least would want to see some bull divs here, lower lows in the price action. You'd want to see some like higher lows here. We are seeing a couple on Nami. No, we're not. Not even seeing nothing even on Nami. So, and Nami is quicker. It's better for scalping, in my opinion. Yeah. Things start money flow starting to roll out again. Ooh. So yeah, that's it's not looking too good here for Bitcoin. Remember, Bybits is a little bit lower, and if we can do something like this, and then see those bull divs. Now, in that case, I would look to long as soon as we reclaim the Coinbase VWAP. So it would be a little bit different. It would be similar, but it would be like a long here with the stop below the Bybit VWAP, and I'd be targeting still the same highs. Shoot. Let's look at. So we went through Solana really quickly. I think on Solana, looking for a drop to that 183 to 182 area because we rejected the golden pocket and the naked weekly POC. So if we drop down to Solana at 182, we have another daily level. What's up, Bullish on Parade? Good to see you, man. We're doing okay. Bitcoin is at a key back test right now. Key back test of the value area low of our 3-month long range. And if we hold it, I think we're going to push up to make new highs. But if we don't, then we're dropping to 107, 107.2-ish. To take out the weekend lows, the Sunday lows at 107.2. One oh seven four. Uh, Sui. Sui, in yesterday's video, guys, I told you to watch for the SFP of the rate of these highs into your value area low of your macro value area low and into the pitchfork upper part of the band. And that's what we're doing. This looks like it could be a flat correction on everything. So you have your initial drop, you come up, you take out the highs. Now, can we come down, take out the lows? And then if that's going to be a flat, you'll start to push up afterwards again. If it's not, then guess what? New lows. But the value area low is at the bottom of your pitchfork band. And I bet if we pull a golden pocket, yeah, you have a 786 down here. So very local support at 251, 252 really. Dang, BNB is finding some resistance underneath your pitchfork band. Remember, we rejected the top of the pitchfork. I shorted this. We rejected the top of the pitchfork. Oops. Now you're falling below your band, rejecting, so you might come back down to this midline. But if you do get down to this midline, this could be a really good swing long opportunity. Actually, let's do this, and then let's do this. Okay, you already bounced from your golden pocket. Yeah, I would be saying kind of coming back down to that 786 area. Look at all those boom, boom, boom. 5 naked daily points of control all wiped out. See, I like to speculate. Like if we did drop to the 786 and then you got a long from here, look at where your long would end up, where the golden pocket would end up, right where that naked weekly and the golden pocket is. And then you might even continue to take out this low. But we still have a lot of data to wait till that develops. But this could be a good scalp long or day trade long up to the golden pocket, and the golden pocket could be a good short down to the lower band. Okay, Koi, do you like megaphone patterns? BTC daily starting June 13th, the bottom of the brightening wedge, take us to 98K. Yeah, I don't use the pattern too much, but let me check that here. Abir, thank you so much for posting the links in the chat. Okay, you said from June 13th. June 13th. Okay, maybe you mean this low here at June 21st, but a megaphone pattern. So I don't know if you're using that wick or not. Something like that. Bullish on Parade, are you in friends with me in Discord? Because if you are, you can DM me that chart and I'll pull it up. Wait, let's do COAI USDT. Man, newer coin for sure. There's not too much you can do here. Money flow looks like garbage here. I would say you're forming a range in here. This is your upper range you're forming, kind of bouncing from the value area low. But here's the thing: you did not grab liquidity. You have some liquidity that's resting right down here that you front ran at 380 or like 381, let's say. You might come down to grab that before seeing a push up. So I would pull a Fibonacci from the highs to the lows. Yeah, if you come up to this value area high golden pocket, and you can see it would also fill this fair value gap in here. We have a nice imbalance in fair value gap right in this guy here. So you'd be filling that fair value gap into your golden pocket and value area high, and you have some internal liquidity. So you might be able to do that. And then that would be a nice 3-wave corrective move down to take out these range or to take out these lows. And then you could get the push up. You have an order block down there too. You see this order block on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and a naked daily point of control close by. We do have some nice uh, supports below us, local supports below us, because you have a naked daily point of control at your range point of control, and then you have a naked daily point of control at your value area low. So you're probably going to get some sort of reaction from those levels. But I'd be watching for first a move up. If we continue moving up here to this golden pocket area, I'd look for a rejection. If you're seeing bear divs as you come up here and you get the confirmed swing failure pattern, remember, confirmed swing failure pattern means you pierce above this high and then you start to close below it. Could be a nice little short. Oh, no worries, bullish on Parade. Um, yeah. Did we cover Chainlink? No, we haven't covered Chainlink quite yet. On Chainlink, I'm looking. So we're ranging around the pitchfork band, and just you remember, I always say we always form ranges within these pitchfork bands, but we haven't come up. The resistance I'm still looking at is the golden pocket around 20.7 because that's where the back test of your macro value area high that we fell underneath. It's a 2-year long range, and with this dump, we fell underneath it. And now we're starting to range back inside the macro volume profile. Not a good sign. That means we could be finding acceptance back inside of the volume profile. Now, if you're finding acceptance back inside a macro volume profile, you have a high likelihood to move down to the point of control of that volume profile. And so, we could fall down to 14.3 to about 14. That is a really nice swing long opportunity for me, at least from 14 to 20.7. I'd be looking for a long. So on the daily time frame, you can see we're below that macro value area high that goes back to November of 2023. So 2-year long range. We're back inside the volume profile. If we drop here first, I'll look for a long from here. If we come up here first, I'll look for a short and then potentially a break above. But you have the SFP of your dead cat bounce highs into your golden pocket and that macro value area high. Yeah, and you're below the value area low of your couple month long, 2-month long range. So it's not looking too good for Chainlink. It's forming this stupid triangle pattern that always forms. But because we dumped into it, we have a higher likelihood to dump out of it. Time Attack, where did you post that? That's what you just posted about there. Your support keeps the channel growing. Yep, guys, please like the video if you got anything out of the stream today. Um, Also, remember, we do have the Telegram community. If you want to join the Telegram community, all you have to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and then deposit $100 into your account. It'll get you free access to the Telegram. Just click the link in the description, or Abir posted it here in uh, the chat as well. And then type in /verify in your user ID, which will be up here, and that'll get you free access to the Telegram. No time for space. What's up, man? Welcome in. You are coming in just as we're about to end here, but okay, let me check Time Attack your post here. Okay, here we go. S&P performance in the 12 months after May, June, July, each positive. So let me get this. Uh, okay. So this is self-performance in the 12 months after May, June, July are each positive. But in October, it looks like you got some negative performance here. And yeah, I mean, it does look like it could be another month of negative performance here. 2025, we don't know quite yet. Gosh, look at 2024 was negative 5.3. Thank you, Time Attack. I appreciate you and I appreciate the super chat so much. Um, yeah, this is interesting. So it looks like through the 27th, that's another week or so, guys. And remember, on Friday, we do have important CPI information. If that CPI comes out bearish, it could be more of a bearish catalyst to go down more. But if we look at the S&P 500 here, where's that at? S&P 500. It's interesting because we're starting to reclaim the pitchfork band. And look at this pitchfork band, like kind of support. You rejected it in here. You form the ranges that often form in this band. But if we can flip it today to support, we might be able to continue pushing higher here on the S&P. It was resistance all through here, broke above it. Now we're back testing it as support. If now we can break above this and flip this, we can continue higher. But you got some massive bear divs here. Bear div. And if we come and break out from the highs from October 8th, you're going to see some massive bear divs here. Money flow draining out as this range is forming. And this range here, yeah, okay, you're trying to flip the value area high locally. So that looks pretty good. But be aware of a fake out, okay? Here's the main thing on the S&P 500. If you come above 6812, because you could be doing a fake out, breakout, SFP, and then if you fall back inside of this volume profile, you're probably going to dump here because you have 4-hour bear divs, and you might be able to dump. I would pull a Fibonacci. Yeah, to dump to that golden pocket to take out those range lows. That could actually be a nice short SFP of this high down to this golden pocket. You can see that the October 12th through 27th are negative, and after that until end of year is green. So yeah, guys, on this here, October, middle of October is usually negative, but after that, actually the second half of October, actually this is October through January, looks like it's pretty good. So we might just be in that dip phase, and it does go back quite a while on the S&P. You know, with Time Attack, it would be interesting if we did this SFP here, and then we dropped for another week and came down here, and then bounced and was up. It would be interesting. But that's really awesome. Yeah, love from a beer, man. A beer. Thank you so much for how good you do these modding. I appreciate you, man. So you're buying these dips. Okay, Time Attack, you are buying the dips. Now, I wonder, did you get any down towards here, towards the bottom? Because that was a nice dip to buy as well. But if we do come back down to 6,500, 6,534 to 6,520, it could be a really nice buy opportunity. And actually, you'd probably be coming a little bit higher. And so look at if you SFP this high, so you put your golden pocket a little bit higher than that, and then you drop down, and that could be a nice little flat correction in here too. And then you continue. Okay, let's look at this EGen real quick. So, man, okay. I do see a nice little range that's starting to form in here. Some bottoming pressure, some selling exhaustion. Let's say that selling exhaustion. So I would be looking at, and actually, like this range looks even better here. So we can pull a couple volume profiles on this. I would look at the volume profile of this guy. You're at the value area low, and then I'd pull it from the bottom right after that ended. Either way, the value area lows are pretty much the same thing. And you're at your value area low now. The big concern here is we did reject the POC on the dead cat bounce. And because we rejected that POC on the dead cat bounce, now you've taken out your liquidity. You took out the liquidity, took out the liquidity, took out the liquidity, took out the liquidity. And did we take this out? Yes, and took out the liquidity of all of this. All of that was taken out with the drop. So that's nice to see. Here's the issue here. You can see we were kind of in this ascending channel, rejected the midline, broke it down, took out the liquidity, back tested the bottom of the channel, and now we're starting to drop again. So we might be coming down to our golden pocket. So let me get rid of this one. If we pull a golden pocket from the lows to the dead cat bounce highs, we pull this over. Yeah, we haven't hit that golden pocket yet. And let me make sure. I think that's more than a 30% move up. Yeah, that's 126% move up. I mean, more than 100% move up. So we're going to put this on log scale. And if you do come down to this 89 to 86.7, could be a very nice long opportunity here. But you're at your value area low. Let me check something here. Yeah, and you're bouncing from the 382. 382 acts as support in a strong trend. So after taking all the liquidity, if this is going to continue to push bullishly, bounce from 382 and then work your way up to value area high. Now that might take some time and you could range in here for a bit. And by the time you work your way up to value area high, it could be another bearish backtest of the channel. So be aware that you could drop right back down again. We took out that daily. We took out that daily. And the next big daily's up at 196.8. Weeklies, okay. And then on the 2-hour time frame, I would just be playing this range here. After the crash ended, pull the volume profile. You're rejecting the POC even. And here's the thing. Attempt to break POC, rejection. 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 Doesn't look too strong right now, I would say. This is nice. Lower lows here, higher lows here, money flow starting to curve up. So if we do come down, we're trying to bounce from the macro 382 of the crash. We want to break above that POC to be really comfortable. But what I would be looking at, because we continue to form bull divs here on the 2-hour, you could pull the Fibonacci from the lows to the highs here. And if we look at our golden pocket, yeah, that value area low golden pocket could be a nice scalp long, and that could turn into a lot more at 109, pretty much 110. At 110, you could be looking for a scalp long opportunity to break up to the local value area high. And let's pull a Fibonacci from the range highs to the range lows. I don't like that that's there. Let's look at the 786. No, I don't like that. This looks nice though. You have your naked daily point of control at 142 as well, with some confluence. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we're kind of rejecting. It's a daily and a weekly POC. Obviously, it's only Tuesday, so the weekly POC is not confirmed at all yet, and it's gonna change by the end of the week. But I would just be looking at this local golden pocket. If you break that, you might and you close below the value area lows, specifically the larger one and the smaller one. They're pretty much in the same area. You're probably going to come down to this 86 to 89 cent area. And one more thing you could do, you could look at pulling your channel of this corrective trend. Yeah, rejection midline, rejection midline, rejection midline. Try to get above it. Now you're breaking down. So, um, man, yeah, I don't like the bottom of that channel too much. See this here. Much better. Yeah, because that turn that turn that back on. Midline, you're broke above the midline. So if you're going to back test it, that's where that local golden pocket and value area low is at 109, 110. But if you break 110, 109, then you're probably going to come to the bottom of the channel. And the bottom of that channel is going to be around where that bigger golden pocket is, because you're not going to do that. You're going to do this, maybe small bounce, reject, continue, and then see something like that. Okay. Yep, CPI. We've talked about that. 530 CPI month over month, year over year, and then we also have manufacturing. What was it? Flash manufacturing PMI as well. Is that a juicy move? We'll be taking it. Yep, fingers crossed. Let's see how it reacts to VWAP. Why the drop? Well, we did have some late longers stepping in, but I heard Trump did a tweet. I didn't check it. I don't know what that's about. Did KDA just SFP? We looked at KDA. Be careful, because on KDA they just said they were going to discontinue it, or I'm not. That's what someone in the chat said. Now I don't know, but we came down to the 786. At least on Binance, it's at the 786 and trying to see a bounce. But be careful, because if they really did discontinue this thing could keep dropping like a rock. Gosh, and you're pretty much at all-time lows on this thing. It's a proof of work project, and yeah, I'd be very, very careful with this. It doesn't look good. No bull divs down here. Money flows coming out on the weekly. It does look like it could continue dropping. Yeah, let's look at BTC, and then I'm going to take off, guys. 12 minutes. Okay, we're losing the VWAP on Coinbase, but did we hit the VWAP on Bybit? Yeah. Okay, so if we bounce from this Bybit VWAP and then start to reclaim the Coinbase VWAP, I might look for a scalp long opportunity here. Money flow doesn't look good, and there's no bull divs. Guys, we hit into some major, major volume resistance up here. I talked about it in yesterday's video beforehand. And now that we're rejecting from our key anchored VWAPs, if we lose 111K or 110.8, we could drop to 107. And at 107, the SFP of the lows and the weekend lows into your anchored VWAP that was not hit. Remember that key 107K anchored VWAP was not touched yet. You can see down here, it was front run on Monday. We front run it. And now we have a golden pocket there as well. If you pull a golden pocket from the lows to the highs, golden pockets down here, liquidity grab, anchored VWAP, 107.2, could be a nice long. If we don't hold 107.2, it could get real. We could be dropping to 96.5, guys. Let's be real. Now, not a straight drop there. We have some naked dailies and a daily at this area, 101, 250 to 101. But we would probably do something like, and then continue down. Yeah, absolutely. Time attack. Thank you for showing us that S&P chart. That's pretty interesting there. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that to see on about the 27th what we start doing in about a week from now, 6 days from now. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna take off. You guys kind of know what I'm looking for. If we close the daily candle below 110.8, we could see that drop in the next couple of days to 107. And we really want to close another week above 107.2. If we do this and close the weekly below 107.2, it's likely we continue down. So thank you guys so much. Much love to you all. I will be streaming on Thursday again, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Friday as well. Hope to see you guys there. Please smash the like button on your way out and have a good